viewers, it's your boy the General once again on this show, which has been named Time with the General. As we always come your way with exciting documentaries, organizing the best for you, as we always promised. So today I have my regular my regular guest on the show. My regular guest on the show. He's been with us through our educational segments and all. So this time too, he's here so we can discuss some educational matters. The first time was career development, and we are still. This is the second episode of the season one of career development. So this time, let me invite my guest, who is an author. An author. He wrote the book How to Serve God in the Days of Your Youth. How to Serve God in the Days of Your Youth. A very interesting book for youth. So I would appreciate it if everybody or every youth will get a copy of it. And if you want a copy of it, you should contact me in my Gmail, or we will put in its informations down the screen and you will get a copy. So help me welcome my regular guest today, Lord Atta Kwesi. Lord Atta Kwesi. Mr. Kwesi, thank you so much for honoring our invitation once again.
All right.
Okay, so you've been on this show quite some number of times. And, the very last time I remember we spoke about career development, which our viewers and listeners are loving it. We are always talking about it, and so I decided to bring you once again on the show. You wrote an article recently on Ghana Web, and it's on your blogspot too, lordatta.blogspot.com. And on Ghana Web, you have a column on Ghana Web where you post several articles, several interesting articles. And reading your articles, I came across this intriguing topic, which was asking the question. It says, why your bachelor's degree is not enough? Why your bachelor's degree is not enough? It really hits me. It really hits me because I am in the university trying to obtain my degree, my bachelor's degree. So when I read the post, I was like, so should I continue or what? But there was more to read than just the headline. So I called you on the show so we can go more into details, so you can share what. So my first question to you is that what was the inspiration? What was the inspiration or agenda behind this article?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be on this platform once again. The Bible says in Isaiah 33, the verse 6, that wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of your times. Again, the Bible says that for the lack of knowledge, my people perish. You would realize that there is a deficit regarding knowledge about career, job, and vocations in our former system of education in Ghana. And I went through the same system. But by the grace of God, I came across a number of materials. You know, I love to read a lot. I read from popular media, literature to books and the Bible and everything. So I realized that there is some kind of information that is going to help the youth of our country. So the inspiration is to be a purveyor of knowledge, to do the research and to write and speak on these topics. And I believe that by this means, I'm helping to solve a problem. Because if an individual going to the university realizes that getting a bachelor's is not enough for the job market, then you would know what to do in addition to acquiring a bachelor's degree from any of our universities.
Okay. Interesting. Reading the article, I realized that there were some interesting things you commented about. So I posted it on my status, asking our viewers and listeners to bring up questions that they think after reading your article that came across or that they were fumbling with. So someone said, can we say that having completed degree doesn't guarantee a strong place in the working field? And why?
Currently we have people with master's degree doing NAPCO,
Okay.
and that's underemployment. They are using their skill to do a job that doesn't require those skills. You get what I'm talking about? Having a degree will give you a step in the door or in the place, but it doesn't guarantee you a seat.
Okay.
And the reason is because when you take the dailies, like the Daily Graphic, whenever there is a job advertisement, the minimum requirement will be at least a bachelor's degree. So you will have to have a bachelor's to even qualify to attend an interview. But that doesn't mean that you're going to get a job. And so that's what I mean by it gives you an access into the room, but it doesn't guarantee you a seat in the room. So the bachelor's, it gives you a step in there, but it is not enough. There are other things that you need to get in addition to it.
Okay. So to add to it, I realized one thing. Before I would go to the university, I had these days from SHS, it's quite unfortunate that the educational structure is rather helping, and people really understand education these days, not as compared to then times. Before I go to the university, I stayed home for 2 years working. And working in the field, I had not been to the university, so I cannot say I know how the university is like. But when I got to the university, I realized that I had more exposure, as in on the working field. Because when they asked us to go for internships and all, it was quite easy for me as the way people were complaining and all. So I agreed with you when you said having a bachelor's degree isn't enough. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. It says, in adding a special attribute or skill to your degree. Sorry, it says, is adding a special attribute or skill to your degree vital?
Why is it not? It is very vital. In the 60s and 70s, the supply of the degree outstripped the demand. Or let me say, the demand rather outstripped the supply. So there were a lot of vacancies. And there were just about 3 public universities: the University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. So we are told by the records that by the time you are out of university, the employer will be waiting for you with a car just to attract you to their institution. But it is not so for now. Now let me comment on what you said. I read a recent research paper that most of us don't transition into tertiary education directly. Most people who complete secondary school would have to go and work either as a shop attendant, a fuel attendant. I mean, they do some form of work for about 3 years before they go. So now, because the bachelor's is in a huge supply and the demand is less, the value of it is dropping. This is basic economics. When the demand is far outstrip the supply, then the value goes up. But when the supply is more than the demand, the value comes down. So because a number of us now are acquiring degree, another research says that anybody after the age of 21 in America is acquiring a degree. And I believe it is so in our country. You realize that we now have free senior high school education, and a number of people are going on to the university. So if your first degree is the only thing you're going to count on to get a job, then you are living a delusion. It is never true that it is going to get you that job.
Okay, so what we are asking is, what should we do? Because right now, it's like we are all being forced to obtain degree. At the end of the day, people find it's more interesting to go into the university to obtain degree. What can we do to add up to our degree? As in, not just making it a degree, but making it special in our field.
All right. So each individual portends a brand.
Okay.
You are a brand of your own.
Okay.
Whether you are aware of it or not. And there must be your brand proposition. You see, having a degree establishes a parity. You see, because all of us have something in common, that is a degree. It establishes a point of parity. But there must be a point of differentiation. And the point of differentiation will be your experience, the other skills that you have. For example, maybe I have a friend who also has a bachelor's in psychology, just as I do. But you see, in addition to that, I've honed my skills of writing. To write on those platforms, you need to write at a certain level of quality. And then skills of communication, to talk well. So imagine we are applying to work with a media organization and you just have a degree, but you don't have any of these things. Definitely, it will give me an advantage over you. It will become a point of differentiation, or it will set me apart from the other person who can only boast of a degree. So in addition to it, we need to acquire other skills. The World Economic Forum says that you need communication skills, you need empathy, you need teamwork, you need to take initiative. This morning I was sharing about how the youth must be solving problems. So we are looking for problem solvers, not just people who come and do 9 to 5 and get a job and get out of the place. So you need to get all these experience and other skills in order to boost the degree that you have.
Okay. So that being said, mostly we realize that experience counts a lot.
Yeah.
Experience is something that sets a person apart. But I want you to tell us, is it possible that I'll be a degree holder, but I'll be more experienced in a particular field than somebody who has feathered in education, obtained masters, MBA, whatever? So is it possible that way? And what are the criteria that will set somebody aside?
Okay, one of the issues on our hand is that now, because there are no jobs, people finish their first degree and the next thing is, let me go and do a master's degree. And after master's degree, what do? You do a doctorate and you come and sit in the house. We have people with masters working for NABCO and all those kind of things. That's not what they should be doing. So I believe that getting experience is very vital. As part of our education, we should be doing internships. A number of us don't take advantage of that. We just go to school. In fact, when we're on campus, a number of our friends wouldn't even join groups and associations. Some of us, that is where we learn to lead. Our leadership skills, we learn them by leading other student bodies, either as a junior common room leader or a departmental leader, or you are with a religious organization. I was a religious leader when I was on campus. So realize that all these skills that you get there, they contribute towards creating a value for you or a brand proposition that will set you apart from others. So I would say that in addition to getting education or getting a degree, as a matter of fact, one man said the degree is a certificate of a competence to learn. So once you have the degree, it's a certificate of a competence to learn. It means that you have all the skills and the tools to learn on your own. I have it on my blog, Self-Directed Learning. It's a means to adding value to yourself as an individual. After school, all I've been doing is I've been learning continuously. So the Lord you know today is not the Lord you meet tomorrow.
Okay.
Every day I have something new to tell you.
Okay.
And you have no idea how wide I read. I read New York Times, Washington Post, the Daily Graphic, Business and Financial Times, my job online, books. I have a whole library to myself. So you realize that by doing all these things, there's an aggregation. You synthesize knowledge, and knowledge makes you powerful, or it is potential power. You get me? So anybody going to school shouldn't just focus on going for lectures and coming to sleep. The funny thing about it is when we were in Legon, we used to have the distance student. So the regular student would just go for photocopies of their materials. Then you just come and sleep. You go bed. The only time you go come lecture be when then they come do IE. So nipan wada neketa so he dey sleep. You go hear the child, the lecture come then they do IO. Yeah, also be sorry. Then he come do something then left. So realize such a person will never learn anything. We go to university, they give us a course outline and they give us a reading list, but nobody steps into the library to go and find out.
Okay.
But I used to follow up on all those materials. I'll go to the library and find out the books that the lecturer has recommended. I'll go and do that. So definitely, these are ways of adding value to yourself as a student.
Okay, knowledge is power. And as a student, you should be able to add knowledge to yourself.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And as we said, the bachelor's degree is not enough.
Yeah.
So our fellow colleagues out there, whatever you are doing, whatever degree you are trying to offer, you are obtaining, you should get a skill. You should get something that sets you aside from other people, because we are all trying to we are all in the same race. But what makes one special, and what differentiates one from the other, it's what we do, or the good skill we have, what we are pursuing. Me, for instance, I'm pursuing Bachelor of Science in Marketing. I like being a marketer. But aside that, I have other things I do. I have my brand that I keep pushing, Indigenous World. So that makes my brand more appealing. While I'm going to school, I'm still pursuing other things. So I think we shouldn't just go to the school. We shouldn't just go to the universities, just obtain the degree and come out. Because on the job market, you can be interviewed, you'll be received into a company, and 2-3 weeks you'll be laid off because you are. And I read something about UT Bank. I don't know if you've read about it before.
Yeah, he turned 70 recently, and I think the Financial Times did a write-up on that man. I read the entire write-up, and I think I learned quite a deal from him.
But did you read about why his business collapsed?
Yeah, one of the things he said was that, at the time they were just UT Financial Services, and when they became a bank, they needed to bring other people on board.
Okay.
And he said that those people had different work culture. The people they brought on board, those that were with him when they were UT Financial Services, they had their own way of doing things. And once he brought other people in, they also came with a different work culture. And they weren't able to integrate them into the system. And you see, the name is Unique Trust. He said that he trusted Ghanaians so much that when they took a loan from you, they will come and pay. But unfortunately, the people go for loans and they'll go and use for their father's funeral. They go and use the loan for their father's funeral. So I read a bit about Amwabin's story in the Financial Times newspaper.
Okay, so I also read something about it. I stand to be corrected, but it was saying that the write-up says that he only took in first-class students.
Yeah.
People with book knowledge.
Yeah.
And in my experience, I've realized that what we learn in the class is different from what is on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because the truth is, the field is more about practicality, putting what you've learned in class to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he just admitting people who only had book knowledge was his downfall.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we should still learn more on the field, be practical. We should engage in internships, as you said. As you said, that helps a lot. So we're asking, what advice will you give to young folks growing up who are in the university trying to pursue a degree, just a degree?
Mm-hmm.
Because some people believe that, after my degree, I'm done. I just want to work. So what advice do you have for them?
The university is an ivory tower. And when you are there, you are shielded from the realities of society. Because you are in a hall of residence, you go for lectures, and you don't know what is going on outside of the walls of the university. It is only when you graduate, and according to the Institute for Social, Statistical and Economic Research at Legon, it takes the average graduate between 5 to 10 years to get a job.
Oh.
You see, so you are not aware that it will take you that long to get a job. And as a matter of fact, the only job you're going to get is NABCO, which will pay you less than what you are worth.
Okay.
And which wouldn't even require you to put to use the skills that you have acquired. So those watching us in Legon Tech, it is nice, I'm a vandal.
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Admin, then kind of things. We used to say that, we used to brag about the fact that we were doing this and that. But you come out of school and realize that, Charlie, admin, I just saw my provision, your mother's provision shop, you have to go and administer at that place, I remember one guy who was at UCC, he was doing human resource management. And he met a particular entrepreneur. He said, you do human resource, so who should go and build and you come and manage the human resource for us, So what we're saying is that all those watching us online, in addition to getting the degree, experience matters. At the end of the day, it's about what you can do. You don't tell, but you show.
Okay.
In the job market, it's about what you can do. It's not just about what you can say about yourself or what you have. So once you are put on the field, what you do will speak for itself. So I believe that they should learn to acquire that skills and other experience, and it's going to help them.
Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show once again. Thank you so much for being on the show. We are much grateful for your time and having the time to join us on the show in the studios. So we've learned a lot. I think this will go a long way to help our listeners and our viewers. But viewers and listeners, he's a career coach, a conference speaker. You need somebody to guide you, especially those from the SHS. Yeah. If you need somebody to guide you in choosing a course or pursuing a course in the university, I think this is your man.
Not to cut you, I actually have manuscript ready, succeeding in high school, how to make the right career choice, and become an employable graduate. As well, when you go to my blog, lawdata.blogspot.com, there's an avalanche of write-ups there. When you visit my column on Ghana Web, that one, top-notch articles there. Well-researched. So I believe that anybody who wants to matter in life or who wants to do something with his life can visit my website or go to Ghana Web or get a copy of my book or watch this interview, and it's going to be a blessing for them.
Okay, so I'll be putting this information on the screen so you can call, have one-on-one personal interactions with him. But thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for always choosing to watch our show, follow and subscribe, comment. What topic do you want us to treat next? What do you want to see on the show? Who do you want to see on the show next? Let's have your ideas and let's know what to do. Thank you so much. It's still DJ Noah, Time with DJ Noah, and this is the educational segment. Thank you so much.